is Saturday. It is 12 noon. It is October 13th. This is the 2-year anniversary. Oh shit, I forgot. This is the 2-year anniversary of PlayStation VR. Ah, man, I totally forgot about this. That is really unfortunate because you know what? I had a good idea for doing the 2-year anniversary of PlayStation VR. One of the things that I was going to do is I was going to make this like montage of the best ever PlayStation VR games and kind of celebrate 2 years of PlayStation VR. And I completely and totally forgot about it. Yeah, preparation for the win. I completely and totally forgot about it. And I've got really good news for you Magic Leap lovers out there. Really good news. Noah is actually going to come on the show in about 25 minutes or so. We are going to have Noah as a special guest. He's going to talk a little bit about LeapCon and a little bit about playing Dr. Gordborts and some of the stuff that he got at LeapCon. And we're going to look at some pictures and stuff. It's going to be fun. Don't worry about it. I know you guys, look, I know you guys are so sick of Magic Leap. I know you guys are. But we're almost done with Magic Leap for a little while here. But I did want to get Noah back on. First of all, let's talk about Mind Labyrinth Dreams. So do you guys remember this one? I've shown this trailer a number of different times. It is called Mind Labyrinth Dreams. Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. Mind Labyrinth Dreams VR. One of those two things. But look, it looks quite beautiful, right? The music is pretty sweet and chill, kind of like a Zing, The Land Beyond, you know, kind of mystical and all those kinds of things. I mean, I think this looks pretty freaking sweet. And the developer, I believe, is Frost Earth Studios or Frost Earth Studio. And this is, you can kind of see it here. I don't really know exactly what you're doing in this thing, but it does look very Zing-ish. You see some quotes there. You got the Oculus hands, of course. And yeah, you see you highlight certain things in the environment. It leaves little messages. I'm guessing it's kind of like light puzzles and those kinds of things. But why am I talking about this? We've seen this trailer like 3 different times already. I'm talking about it because we have a date. So this is coming October 15th. And today is October 13th, so this is coming very soon. I guess this is Monday, right? Because, you know, Sunday is the 14th, Monday is the 15th. So this is going to be available on Monday. I am kind of hyped for it a little bit. I'm trying to get a hold of Frost Earth Studios, see if I can get a key for this. Check this out. This is my type of, I mean, it looks like my type of jam. Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. It has some Oscar-winning composers with music and amazing VR experience. This is coming on Monday. I have no idea how much this is going to cost, and that is a big question. Whenever we get to these kinds of experiential type of things, the big question is, well, how much are you going to charge me? You know, we recently had that with the Great Sea. That's $6. You know, not too bad. This looks a little bit more video game-ish. Kind of a bit of a cross between Zing and Kiaru and the Elixir of Life. A lot of these kinds of games as well. Kind of reminds me of Senza Peso. You know, that one experience from Kite and Lightning that I was so incredibly impressed with. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. So this is on Monday. I'm legitimately hyped for this. I don't know if I should be, but I am legitimately kind of hyped for this and interested in this. I like the surreal look. I like the beautiful look of it. That is Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. So I did want to mention that before we got too far along here. And then, of course, the next big thing that we have going on today is No Man's Ski. So is No Man's Ski coming to VR, or is No Man's Ski not coming to VR? I'm talking about No Man's Sky. And this is a trailer for No Man's Sky Next, which I guess is like this really big update that is coming to No Man's Sky. And I Am Runtz is saying, Anthony, dude, what is going on with your 1080 Ti? I will talk about that in just a minute. We'll get to that in just a minute. Hopefully I didn't kill my 1080 Ti. But this really does look beautiful, this No Man's Sky. I've never played No Man's Sky. You know, that is my confession for you. I was hoping we might have Gary on our episode today as a special guest, and Gary might join us tomorrow. So we might get some Gary action on tomorrow's show. So look forward to that. But no Gary today, unfortunately, because I know Gary has played No Man's Sky, and I think he was kind of really into No Man's Sky for a number of months. I never got into it because I think right around the time when No Man's Sky was about to come down the road, there was that's when VR arrived, right? And so I never got into No Man's Sky, didn't end up trying it. But there are lots of rumors that No Man's Sky is going to be coming over to VR at some point because, well, why don't I go ahead and go to the, let me go to the Vive subreddit, and let's see, web browser here with small video window. Okay, so Hello Games has provided a survey about No Man's Sky. They are considering making it VR compatible. Please follow the link and ask for VR support. That is Hello Games, their website. We got 108 comments. This has been voted up 730 times, and people are filling it out. They're logging in. And honestly, you know what I think is going on here? I don't think that they're planning on providing VR support to No Man's Sky. I think they've already done it, or I think they're like halfway through it. This is just marketing, in my opinion. I honestly don't believe that they're waiting to see if people really want VR in No Man's Sky. They've heard it a million times. They know people want VR in No Man's Sky. And if they're waiting to find out for sure if everybody is into it, and everybody wants VR for No Man's Sky, and then they're going to be like, okay, gee, everybody really does want VR in No Man's Sky, so now let's start working on it slowly but surely, and then maybe in 2 years, we're going to have VR for No Man's Sky. I don't believe that, personally. I don't believe that. I believe they've already been banging away on VR support, and they're probably like 80% of the way there. And this is kind of like marketing, in my opinion. That's my take. I hope I'm right, because if I'm wrong, god damn, we might be waiting a hell of a long time to finally get this. We've been crying about this for years, right? But Cybus says, not sure VR would make this game any more exciting. Well, it's got to be a little bit more exciting, right? I would think so. And then Terry Blanchard says, heard about No Man's Sky 5 years before Magic Leap. And then Lethal Weasel VR says the VR patch will come as quickly as this one did. In other words, Valve time, kind of, is what we're looking at here. But that looks sweet. I mean, you're telling me you wouldn't want to see this grass and all this shit in VR? I sure as hell would. The problem with No Man's Sky VR, though, it goes back to the chair, right? We need the VR chair. Like, the VR chair needs to launch day and date with No Man's Sky. And what am I talking about when I'm talking about a VR chair? I'm talking about a chair. So you see my room here, guys. Okay, see that door over there? You need to have a chair that is on some kind of track, almost like a train track. And then you're playing VR in your VR space, and you're doing stuff. You're standing around. You're doing things with your controllers, motion controllers. You're in the VR world, man. You're exploring the world of No Man's Sky. But now it's time to get into your spaceship. So you hit a little button, it sends a signal to your VR chair, and your VR chair goes zzz, moves in position. You sit down in your VR chair. Now you're in your cockpit of your little spaceship, and you can fly out of there, and you can get out of the atmosphere, and you can explore the world of No Man's Sky. Everybody wants to explore the world of No Man's Sky, but we really need the VR chair. You guys know, I've been talking about this for like months. I've been saying, look, somebody out there has to be going to a 2080 Ti, and they are going to get rid of their 1080 Ti. And my hope was that somebody that watches this show, a fan of this show, might, by the goodness of their heart, they might be able to deal with maybe getting $100 less or $50 less or whatever it might be for their used 1080 Ti by hooking me up with their used 1080 Ti. And I was hoping that would happen. And you know what ended up happening is Chris from VR Roundtable. I didn't get his 1080 Ti, but he had a good buddy that stepped up to a 2080 Ti. He upgraded. He had a 1080 Ti that he was ready to sell. And the thing is, yeah, you can get 500 and something or whatever for a used 1080 Ti on eBay right now. But the problem is you're going to pay a ton to eBay and PayPal for all of the fees. You know, there's going to be a pretty good chunk that's taken out of that. So he was willing to sell it to me for $400. I gave him another $15 for shipping. So basically I paid $415 for the 1080 Ti. And I got it last night. I got it relatively late in the night. And so here's what I decided to do. I decided, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the million wires that are going into my PC on the front of it and the back of it, all the USB cables for all the sensors and all the HDMI plugs and all of that. I'm going to unplug all of that crap. I'm going to take my PC tower out of there, put it on the kitchen table, open the thing up, and I'm going to perform surgery. I'm going to take out my 970. I'm going to put in the 1080 Ti, and I'm going to connect a couple of things, and everything's going to be good to go, right? I'm going to be good to go. Everything's awesome. So I did that, and I went and I connected everything back up, and then I turned it on, and then I got this crazy red screen of death that was saying your CPU fan is not activated, you know, all this other stuff. It was kind of like the BIOS thing. Like my computer didn't even get to the point where it was going to actually work, right? And so I was like, oh shit, something's wrong here. And so basically it was kind of a nightmare. So basically what happened is I found out that my power supply, well, this is what I believe is the problem. My power supply is not quite good enough. I need more power. So I'm really, really, really hoping I didn't kill my 1080 Ti in trying to power it with an underpowered power supply. I have a Seasonic power supply that is actually really damn good. It's a really solid power supply, but it's rated at like 540 watts or something like that. So it's probably just a little bit not quite there yet. And then Kevin Mars is saying, you better hope it's got the two 8-pin connectors you need. Well, my 1080 Ti is one 8-pin connector and one 6-pin connector is what I had on my 1080 Ti, and my existing 970 was using one 8-pin connector and one 6-pin connector. So I just unplugged the ones that were in my 970 and I put it into the 1080 Ti. And so I was just hoping to, you know, bada boom, bada bing, everything would be working, everything would be great, and I would play me some Cyberpunk VR with no dropped frames, everything would be glorious. And so I'm having this problem. So basically, I'm going to, after this show is over, I'm going to drive my ass over to Fry's Electronics, and I'm going to try to get like the best power supply I can get for the $80-ish range, you know, 80, 90 bucks, the best power supply I can possibly grab. I have a Fry's Electronics that is not too far away from me. So I'm going to try to go ahead and do that. So yeah, this is Noah with Roni Abovitz. There's Noah and there's his dad. No, I'm just kidding. No, but what is he showing you here? Is that like a sock puppet or something?
No, that is the leaper. That is a leaper.
Okay. So this was on your trip there. That's when you got to talk to him. That must have been super cool. You're right next to a billionaire, Noah. What was it like?
It was pretty cool. I've been next to one before. That was cool.
You've been next to other billionaires?
Yeah, I went to an event in like another part of LA, and it was pretty cool. That was cool. That was the best experience ever.
Yeah. Okay, so we have that picture there. Let's see. I've got some other pictures just to roll through, and we can get Noah's take on it. Okay, here's one with Noah. This is at LeapCon, I believe. And this is you with one of the Dr. Gordborg guns, right?
I think it's lagging for me actually.
No, it just takes like 6 or 7 seconds probably.
Yeah, 6 seconds probably.
So you might be seeing it now.
Oh yeah, that's the one of me holding the gun that I love. The
Yeah.
righteous bison.
Hey, no, I got a question. Is that some steak back there in the background? You got some steak on a plate?
It's not mine. If there is,
okay.
I don't see it though.
Okay. But anyway.
That is one of my favorite new pictures of me holding the righteous bison. There were like 3 photos, and I took that one to make my profile photo.
Yeah, that's cool. And then let's see, what other pictures do I have here? I have Noah. Well, this is going back to when you were at the Magic Leap. You were at the Florida offices. Now I'm putting up a picture where you're writing on the giant chalkboard.
The chalk bowl, yeah.
Yeah, the chalk bowl or whatever it is, and it's going to take a couple seconds to get to you. Ah, man, your freaking video froze again. This is the problem we had last time.
It's okay, just let it sit.
Yeah.
That's a great photo. Yeah, they gave me a permanent marker to write on it with. Noah was here. I wrote it in gold because Golden Leaper.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I see there.
Noah
was here. I see it. Noah was here. That's awesome.
The Golden Leaper, so I wrote it in gold.
Now, here's an example of something that I think is very disappointing. And it's going to take about 6 or 7 seconds for you to see this. But we had this other Magic Leap video where it was Dr. Gordbort's, and it was filmed in someone's real house, right? And it's like this footage where that's where I captured some of that other footage there too. And you might be seeing this picture now. And what it shows is it shows this robot's head clipping through a table right there.
The occlusion is off.
And can you see it now? Do you see it?
Yeah, the occlusion seems off.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's problematic, man, because one of the things we were hoping with Magic Leap here is that when you're in the room and you do the mesh, right? You do a mesh of your room, and it analyzes that that's a table and everything. You would think that when the robot gets shot and the robot falls over, that his head would hit that table and bounce back. You know, that there would be some kind of like physics that would go along with that.
Well, there are physics, but it becomes a problem at the beginning of every paradigm, I think. Yeah, it's sort of just. It's hard to get things right in the beginning, I think. I think it's become, how do I put it other than that? I mean, it's just different with these new systems.
Yeah, what I'm doing now is it's going to take a couple seconds before you see it, but I'm putting on this clip where this is in someone's like actual house. This is like the real freaking game, because a lot of people were thinking, oh, it doesn't really look like that. And then this clip shows people.
It's better than this in the real system when you wear it, actually.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, I would imagine it would look a hell of a lot better. But if you watch this clip carefully, you'll notice that some of the parts, like some of the robot parts, when they're shooting some of the robots, some of the parts do bounce off of things that are in the environment. Here's the robot where it clips through the, okay, no, not that one. It fell down very realistically. And then, let's see here. So they shoot, this is where, yeah, see its head goes right through there. See how its head went right through that table there. And then it's kind of like, so it's like they need to figure out how to get that better, right?
Yeah, graphics, I mean, they're just Unity assets right now, things like that.
But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and bounce out of here. But guess what, folks? I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m., and we might actually have Gary on the show. And you know what I'm going to try to do? If Gary does come on the show, I'm going to get Gary on ahead of time, make sure we have our audio figured out, make sure we have the Skype call figured out so I don't ruin the show tomorrow. I got to eventually figure this thing out. What?
Please figure it out before you have him on this time, because that was the weirdest show I've ever been on.
Well, you know what? It was my fault the entire time from minimizing this little Skype window over here. For some reason, what that would do it would cause you to freeze.
No, so don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't let them harp on you. You're fine.
I figured something out. I have the key to the formula. All right, guys. Well, I got to get out of here. It's been a long time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Don't like this one. Do not like this episode. This episode sucked. Do not like it. Do not like this episode. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Later.